What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If it is the first time you're touching down on this channel, welcome to Small Feet Big Heat. We talk sneakers, we talk streetwear, and everything in between. Today I am back with another sneaker review. This is the Kithmas Salomon XT-4K, a brand new silhouette that is being introduced through this holiday Kith collaboration. Smart move by Salomon. Kith is the perfect marketing vehicle to introduce or reintroduce things to the masses. I had early access to this collab through the Kith app, and I just decided, why not? I've been looking at Salomons for about a year and a half now, and I just never found the right drop. So this is not the first time that Kith and Salomon have collaborated, but this is the one that I knew I had to get my hands on, so it just seemed like the right time. A few housekeeping things to get out of the way before I jump straight into the review. These were $220 retail, $250 after taxes, fees, shipping, all of that good stuff. I picked them up in a size 6. A size 6 is my regular true size. I wear a size 6 in Air Jordan 1s for reference, a size 6 in Dunks, a size 6 in the Asics Gel Light 3, so on and so forth. That is my typical usual size. If you have a standard or narrow foot, I would recommend going with your true size in this model. If you have a wider foot or you want a little bit of extra room, I would say go a half size up. As I mentioned, this was a Kithmas release. Basically do one of these drops every year for the holiday season. The shoes do lean into sort of traditional Christmas colors, but the box itself is fairly plain, which might be normal for Salomon, but for Kith, it was disappointing to see. Their packaging is normally phenomenal. It is something that I always commend them on. The marketing and the packaging is always gonna be top tier. So this was a little bit disappointing to see the black box with the mountain graphic and some co-branding. It falls a bit flat. That being said, the shoes are the most important part, and they didn't disappoint at all. The gray mesh and white leather upper is simple, but the layering of the two materials combined with that Kith branding along the outside makes it a lot more interesting. The toe cap or mud guard has a little bit of texture to it, along with the name of the model, XT-4K, in red. There are some more red hits near the eyelets too. Some contrast stitching that, in my opinion, goes a long way in terms of adding color to the model. On the interior, there's no Kith branding, which is fine. I think Kith branding on both the lateral and medial side would have been overkill, especially since there are other small branding hits on the shoe. Like on the heel where you have the Salomon S logo right above a smaller Kith logo. I love that little detail right there. It's the small stuff that makes things feel cohesive, and this shoe really feels like a joint brand collaboration. The tongue of the shoe uses a bit of a lighter color gray mesh than the sides, and on the top of both the left and the right shoe, you guessed it, more Kith and Salomon branding. On the right shoe you have a hit of Kith branding on the tongue, and on the left shoe there's a hit of Salomon branding on the tongue. There's also a strip of this mountain graphic, which makes sense because Salomon is a trail and winter sport brand. I won't be using these on any trails, and ultimately that's why I decided to go with this red and white colorway versus the black and gray colorway. I feel like this one would just be easier to make fits with, and it would be nice to have a white and red shoe that's not a Nike or a Jordan in my collection, just to add a little bit of variety in looks that I feel like might be missing to my current rotation. Everybody loves extra laces, and Kith and Salomon did include 2 extra lace sets. So you get the white rope lace set that's inside the shoe. When you get it, you get a gray rope lace set and a red rope lace set. I'm sure all of these are gonna look fire inside the shoe, but I think the white might be the one that I stick with. Of course, I'll show y'all all of them though. One of the major things that held me back from buying Salomons in the past is their quick lace lacing system. I know that it has a lot of benefits for people who are in inclement weather, for people who are participating in sports, if your hands are cold, if your hands are wet, so on and so forth. I understand the benefits, but like I said, I'm not planning on using these for any trail or sport activities. So I personally prefer a more traditional lacing system, which this Kith and Salomon collaboration has. The outsole of the XT-4K is what Salomon calls Contour Grip, which is supposed to provide traction on all sorts of terrain. For me, that means the New York City pavement and streets. It does feel grippy, but if I'm being completely honest, I have questions about how it would provide traction on a very slippery or slick surface. There's a difference between, you know, compacted snow and a subway that is slick because of a rainstorm that just happened. 2 very different situations in which you may need some type of traction from your shoes. And again, I know that these weren't made with that purpose in mind, but the XT-4K is supposed to be more of a lifestyle model. So I think I'm asking necessary questions. The midsole is made up of two parts. You have AC2 muscle, and then you have AC skeleton sitting right on top of that. They come together to give what I would consider a very mid-level comfort. It's firm, it's supportive, but it's not cushiony. I would not call these uncomfortable by any means, but I will say it's not a New Balance or Asics level comfort. That's not what you should expect going into this if you are thinking about picking up any Salomon. Honestly, it's not a shoe that I would pick up for my longer days either. If I'm gonna be out for 8 to 10 hours, this is not what I'm picking up. If comfort is what you're looking for in a sneaker, in a shoe, in a particular model, this might not be what you purchase next. The sock liner is a red and white mesh, and it's a much looser mesh than on the tongue and on the sides, probably for breathability. I did take out the insole that you can see what that looks like. It's a layered red and white co-branded insole, and just take a look at how thin that looks. You know, going back to the comfort that I was just talking about, it's a pretty thin insole. After sitting with them for a while, here are my final thoughts, my pros, cons, and questions. I'll start with the pros. The shoes look amazing. I love the look of them. I think they did a great job switching up the lace system. Love that little detail, because that was really kind of one of the bigger things that was holding me back from picking up a pair of Salomons. The aesthetics, perfect. I think it's gonna add exactly what I was looking for to my collection. I wanted a majorly white shoe that wasn't a Nike or a Jordan, that'll kind of help me build outfits that I think need something that's just a little bit different than what I have currently. Looks wise, these get a 10 out of 10 in my book. I think these are 10 times better than the previous Kith and Salomon collaboration, but that's just my opinion. I don't have any outright cons. I more so have questions. The first of which I've kind of already alluded to, which is I want to know how this Contour Grip outsole holds up to the New York City streets and sidewalks. I want to know if in 6 months, you know, this is going to be very run down, very riggedy looking, or if they're actually going to be able to hold up with city pavement. The XT-4K is supposed to be a more lifestyle Salomon model, but it wasn't made with city pavement in mind. So I'm just interested in how long the outsole will last. I do have a lot of sneakers in my collection, so it's not like I'm going to be wearing them daily, and I want them to be able to hold up. My next question kind of piggybacks off the first, and that is, if the XT-4K is supposed to be a more lifestyle model or made with just lifestyle in mind, then why can't we get a little bit better quality materials? The shoe very much feels like a trail shoe. It's not extravagant. It's not luxe. There's nothing luxe about it. It feels functional, and that's okay. They feel functional. They will serve their purpose, I'm sure. But if it's a more lifestyle model or lifestyle forward model, I would love to see some more suedes. I know one of the models that Kith did collaborate on did have a suede on it, but I just didn't really like the model too much. So why can't we get a suede on this model, or a nubuck even? Nubuck is a little bit more durable. Just something that kind of gives more of a lifestyle feel. Obviously, the brand has an identity and a DNA that they need to stay true to, but I think they can do that while incorporating some more high quality materials. These will be staying with me in my collection. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the Kith Salomon collaboration, the Kithmas collaboration, and let me know what y'all thought about their previous collaboration as well. As always, like, comment, subscribe, show a small YouTuber some love, and I will check y'all out in the next one. I'm leaving at the perfect time because it's starting to get noisy outside.